All right, we're back again for another race. This was a 55-mile road race, and as you can see, we got the power and the heart rate analysis and all that good stuff coming up on the screen right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of break this race down. It was a hot one. You know, everywhere else in the United States is freezing, but we are down here melting. I think the temperature at the start of the race was mid-80s, and the big factor in today's race was the wind. So on this course, it was an out and back, 5 miles down, 5 miles back, with a total of 55 miles. One way going down, beautiful. Tailwind, upper 30s, sometimes 40 miles an hour. Coming back, 22 miles an hour, 500, 600 watts at times. So it was kind of a really difficult race to kind of gauge, because, you know, we had a lot of attacks going into the tailwind, and you kind of, you know that you're not really going to get away, but you're hoping for a little bit of separation, and that separation hopefully comes before that U-turn into the headwind, where you can kind of carry that momentum and keep things riding out. This race actually blew up pretty quick within the first half a lap, you know, heading down to the U-turn. We had separation of the field. I would say they combined the 40 plus with the 1, 2, 3. So in this field, we might have had 50 to 60 people, and not many people finished this race. With the headwind in the course, when you get dropped, it's just hard to find the motivation to keep going. As you see here, this is our main breakaway group. Started with about 15 people. I'm gonna go ahead and attack on the left. And that was kind of the thing that we kept doing back and forth. We worked really well together for about a lap, and then the attacks started coming. And everybody in this breakaway was elite level at this point. So it was going to be the main breakaway. Somebody from this breakaway was going to win the race. We just didn't know who. So I launched an attack, and me and Sebastian kind of went back and forth on counter attacks, trying to get something to stick. Eventually, you'll see later on in this race that something does stick, and we'll go ahead and see the outcome of that at the end. But right here, I'm kind of solo. Unfortunately, I'm trying to figure out the GoPro still. I can't get my power to show up on this, so this is what we got. Right here you have Sebastian counter attacking me, and I just got off an attack, so what I did is I wanted to bridge to him in hopes that maybe one other guy came with me, or two other guys, and that would have been another breakaway that I would have felt really comfortable with. Unfortunately, you know, with just the amount of horsepower we had in that field, it was really hard to create that separation. Everybody kind of wanted to be part of the attacks and the breaks, so everything just kind of kept getting brought back over and over again. I do want to just talk for a second about, you know, what I used during this race. The first thing, Lactigo. This stuff is amazing. It's a gel that you place topically on 45 minutes before the race, or any kind of training at that, and the gains that I've noticed from Lactigo is unbelievable. So definitely check them out. You can get 20% off by using my code, and I'll go ahead and leave that up here on the screen. Just head over to the website and place in the discount code. The second thing I used was the Amino Grip hydration, and especially on a day like today, how important hydration is. It's unbelievable. So definitely check that out. I'll go ahead and leave the link up there on the screen too. And the last thing that I use is the WPL chain lube. Just keep the drivetrain running smooth during these races. Always keep the chain clean, and then lube it up before. It's just a lot of road grime down here in Florida with the wet weather and dirt being blown around. So always keeping that chain clean with WPL. But back to the race. What we have here is a breakaway group once again trying to separate, and this was right after all those counterattacks that we had over and over and over again, and it actually split the field at this point. We had probably 10 to 15 guys in the breakaway, and after me and Sebastian and a couple other people laid down what they wanted, it kind of broke down in half, and we ended up with 8 people. Unfortunately, I do not have the footage of when Sebastian attacked, and he came up to me mid-race and was like, look, I want to go. And when they catch me, I want you to go. And I swear that's going to be the winning move. Unfortunately, when he jumped, Frank Travieso, Michael Hernandez, and one other guy went with him, and I had two pretty, heavy sprinters on my wheel that did not jump with that break. So in my mind, I thought it was going to be best just to sacrifice my race at that point and not chase. And it ended up working good because those two guys were unable to get to that jump, and they were stuck with me the entire race. So, and I got to give them kudos because they worked their ass off trying to bring them back, and they really almost did. And I did not help one bit. I soft pedaled through. I was never disrupting their work pattern. I always pulled through. I just didn't put any effort on the pedals. So I want to give that, a kudos to them for that, because they did hard work. And I got a little nervous towards the end because the chase group then caught us. And we had 15 people again that were getting organized and chasing down the 4 guys that were up the road. And those 4 guys started playing games, I feel like, and we had them in our sights. So I was getting kind of nervous. And as you can see here, everybody's pretty committed here, and huge pulls into the headwind. I mean, we had like 20-mile-per-hour headwinds. We're going 27, 28 miles an hour. So we're coming into the finished sprint right now. So the only thing I could think about doing is trying to go solo and create some kind of disruption within the lead out train, and hopes that we didn't catch Sebastian. And that was my main goal. Do not let this field catch Sebastian. So once again, I really took it upon myself just to act like a fool and try to go solo into the wind to create people to chase me. Luckily, people always want to chase me, so that pulled people out from their perfect little comfort of the pace line in order to bring me back. And you'll kind of see that within this race. As you see, I'm kind of stuck in the wind at this point, but I know that I want to try to get to the back of that field because I want to launch another attack because it's starting to get organized again. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting organized within that line to launch another attack to try to go solo one more time. And at this point, I really think that I was going to get away solo a couple of times, but the guy from Zeal was so committed on staying on my wheel and bringing me back every time, so it just didn't work out as planned. Once again, I'm going to launch another attack, try to create that separation from that group. I'm going to swing really far right into that wind, try to swing back around. We have full control of this road at this point. So we're allowed to go anywhere on it. Kind of know people are chasing me. I'm going to go ahead and swing back out. And as you see, we have some separation here from the field. But unfortunately, I don't think it works out again. I tried everything in my power to make it work, just didn't do it. I think this would have been for 4th place. So if they would have let me go, 4th place or 5th place, I think one of the guys in the breakaway was a 40-plus racer, so it would have been for 4th place. So, I mean, not many people wanted to just give it up. It's not like we were sprinting for 10th. Be one last kind of hoorah. I'm all by myself at this point. Just kind of keep by myself, maybe hoping that the guy at the front will give up and I'll be able to just ride off the 4th place victory. And this is the first time I'm watching this footage, and it actually looks like I had a gap. Yeah, and I was trying to motivate him to go as hard as he could. And once again, this is like 20-mile-per-hour headwinds. And James bringing me back. So James is on Amino Rip, but he's on a development team, so we do not race together. So when we're out there in breakaways and we're racing, we are not on the same team. We all represent the same idea and the same product, but we are not racing on the same team when we're out here. They just couldn't let me go. They could not let me go. They just did not want to let me go. And I kind of knew, I mean, at this point, my race was already over with Sebastian being in that breakaway. I was really hoping for a win from him. I'll go ahead and spill the beans right now. Frank Trevieso won. Sebastian got second. Michael Hernandez got third. So kudos to Frank. It's not bad to be second place behind Frank. That's a top level podium right there if I've ever seen one. So kudos to all the guys. Next race is going to be Chain of Lakes, which is next weekend. Unfortunately, I will not be making that race, but I hope that I can get somebody to do some footage and I can do a race breakdown.